Hello and welcome to On the Bench LFC. So we're back, baby. I need to obviously get my head around doing the whole live stream setup and make sure everything is working okay. So if anybody actually does tune in, please let me know volumes, stuff like this. It's the first time I've live streamed in a long time, guys. But I'm so excited to be able to do it and to be able to get your views on everything Liverpool related. So obviously the topic of this stream is Isak and what's going on there. Basically, there's a massive saga at the moment where is Isak going to sign for Liverpool? And also, if Isak doesn't sign for Liverpool, then do we sign somebody else? So there's a player that Liverpool are being linked with tonight that I want to speak to you guys specifically about. Michael Dunn, hey up. Hello, Michael, my boy. How are you? Sir Scotty, yes, Staz. Hello, Scotty, bro. It's good to see you. Like, audio is great. Thank you so much, Michael. It's good to see you guys joining me in the live stream. So obviously, those that are live, you get to get your point across so that everybody, I'll be reading it out so everybody gets to hear it. We can have a discussion about those points. And also, if you're watching it back, guys, you're watching it and you wasn't able to catch it live, don't forget you can leave a comment. And I do read all my comments and try to reply to every single one. So, Isak. What are we saying, guys? Is it our Liverpool Football Club going to sign Isak this window? So what we are being led to believe so far is that Newcastle need to sign a replacement. And if they do, then Liverpool will get a green light basically to then go back in and try and sign Isak. Obviously, we need to go in with a higher fee anyway because Newcastle rejected it, not only because they didn't have a replacement, but also, let's be honest, guys, 110 million is not enough to sign Isak, is it? He is probably the best striker in the world currently, or close. Him, Haaland, who else really falls into that bracket, guys? All right. Scotty says, long time no chat. Definitely. Shia LaBeouf is back. Let's go. Yeah. And I'm getting Benzema now as well for some reason on all my videos that I've been putting out. Kareem Benzema. But yeah, it's cool. Whatever, guys. I feel like we don't need Isak, but we do need a centre back, says Michael Dunn. I am with you that we do need a centre back, Michael. Are you doing a watch along for the game versus Palace? I don't know yet, Scotty. I'm still trying to get my head around all the stream. Obviously, you can see my new graphics and stuff on screen. I've been working very hard to get back to it, guys. It takes a lot to get there, though. Right, so if Liverpool, do stump up the money, I think Newcastle are going to have to sell Isak this window. That's what I think. I think the damage is done. I don't think the player has been happy there for at least a year. I'm seeing different journalists saying online. He's been telling Newcastle that he wants out at the end of the season anyway. Promises were broken to him. And then you've got to look at, obviously, at the moment, he's not training with a squad. I was reading reports today to suggest that he was told by Newcastle to come in to train after the Newcastle players and families had left. So that's not good for Newcastle. If you're a Newcastle fan right now and you're sitting there and you're getting all these little updates and stuff, surely you're thinking to yourself, look, just take the money and move on. We don't want a player playing for us that doesn't want to be here. Liverpool have been in this position before. I remember deadline day when we was talking about Torres going to Chelsea, and when that happened, I was so heartbroken because to me, Torres was everything. You know, he was my world. Like, I remember everything about me. I used to have the blonde highlights in my hair. I wanted to be Torres. I was a striker when I played football. And now when I look back at the time that Torres went, like, I was devastated, you know, and Newcastle fans must feel the same. This is one of their best strikers that they've had in a long time. Yeah. And he doesn't want to play for them. So if you've got a player like that, you've got to let him go. Yeah. Liverpool, obviously, are waiting. We're waiting for the green light. That's what I can see online. However, guys, there is a player that we're being linked with tonight that if Liverpool do this, right? So before I say Ekitike, Newcastle wanted Ekitike. What did Liverpool do? Liverpool went and signed Ekitike, So then that takes Ekitike away. Who else has Newcastle been linked with recently? Wissa, Does that ring a bell? Or Wizza, however you want to say it. I call him Wissa, So obviously it says here, Liverpool are eyeing Brentford striker Johan Wissa on a potential option if Alexander Isak doesn't come off. What do you guys make of that? I don't know whether Liverpool are just saying to Newcastle, you better hurry up, otherwise we're going to take every player you're trying to sign. Let me go to the live comments here and catch up with what you guys are saying. Michael Dunn says, slow cap, if you know, you know. What we got? Are you doing watch on? I saw that one. So apparently Chelsea is interested in Gahey. Yeah, Anthony, I think we've got to be really careful here because as much as we don't want to pay the fee for Gahey, I think other clubs are going to pay that to get him this window ahead of Liverpool. If Liverpool try and sign him on a free next year, but another club turns his head, it could be a big mistake. I think we need that centre back. We don't know what's going on with Konate yet and his contract. So obviously Liverpool are probably looking at that. Gahey is going to want guaranteed football. If we sign Konate up to a contract extension, yeah, then Konate is going to want guaranteed football. So you've got Van Dijk, Konate. I can't see us playing three centre-backs at the moment, even though that is a possibility with bombing wing-backs for us. I just can't see it every game. So if you're going off what we've been playing in pre-season and the formation we've been playing, I can't see it, guys. I definitely think these links to the younger centre-backs is more what Liverpool will probably look at. If Konate is not going to sign a contract extension, then of course Liverpool want Gahey. So let me know what your views are, guys, in the live stream. And if you obviously aren't live, let me know in the comment section. But I do think we need to be careful with that. And I think we should go for him for definite if it was me. Michael says, I can't believe how the media have been portraying this scenario. So obvious that promises have been broken. Massively, Michael. Massively, mate. I can't believe it either. Gary says, tally ho, Dazza. This is starting to be very annoying. I know, Gary. I hope you're well today, Gary, mate. Thank you very much for all of your support and all of you guys that have been supporting me since coming back. I really do appreciate it. It is annoying, Gary, and we know with the history of transfer sagas that it can be very annoying. Yeah, I remember doing live streams on Nabil Fekir. He had a medical. He was in the Liverpool kit and it still didn't come off. And it was very annoying that it didn't come off. I remember when we signed Virgil van Dijk, I was following that one closely. It can get annoying if it doesn't happen. But I do genuinely think this has got to come to some sort of a conclusion sooner rather than later because the season starts. Liverpool aren't going to hang around forever. And if Newcastle don't want the Reddies, they don't want the money that we're offering them, then that's up to them, right? That's completely down to them. But honestly, for me, if Newcastle don't want that sort of money, then Liverpool can spend that elsewhere. We could go and get a winger. Barcola's being linked. Yeah, there's more talk about Barcola tonight, and that he doesn't really want to leave PSG, and PSG don't want to let him go. There's talk that obviously Liverpool saying that they want to give Rio more game time this year, but do we go and sign a winger if we don't get Isak? Obviously now we're being linked with Wissa as a backup to Isak. Like, what's going on, guys? Yeah, all I know is we need another attacker and we need another centre back for me personally, because we're letting all of our attackers go. And today it's likely that Harvey Elliott is being heavily linked with Tottenham now. And apparently talks are progressing and Elliott is happy. So we could see Elliott go to Tottenham, which I really don't want because I rate Elliott and I don't want him going to any of our rivals if you class Spurs as a rival next season. But he's only going to strengthen them, isn't he? And if you look at their situation with Maddison now with the injury, of course, Elliott makes sense. So Elliott is likely to leave Liverpool. That's another one. Nunes, gone. Diaz, gone. Harvey Elliott goes. Like, obviously, of course, rest in peace, Jota. We lost Jota as well. We're going to thin out a little bit in them attacking areas, guys. What else are we saying in the comment section, guys? Is that could happen? I see Newcastle taking it to the deadline day. I hope they don't, Anthony, mate. Is it Anthony or Anthony? Because it could be either, right? I hope they don't take it to the deadline day, but I do feel like they're going to try and mess us about a bit with the fee. But, of course, surely they want to get this deal done sooner rather than later, right? They want to get it done sooner rather than later. Or after our away game there, says Michael. Yeah, they could be trying to stall so that we don't have Isak to face them. Let's face it, that is something that has been said. We can't let what happened in the 21 season happen again. If we lose one centre-back, we are screwed. Anthony, that is massively what I'm worried about. I did a video, a lot of my videos that I'm putting out at the moment, guys. By the way, if you're just following me on YouTube, I'm putting out more content actually on TikTok at the moment because it's just easier for that short form. Obviously, there are videos going up on YouTube and my live streams are YouTube. But for anyone that hasn't yet, obviously, if you're on TikTok, check out my latest videos. I've been talking in a video specifically about the centre-back situation at Liverpool. We are one major centre-back injury away from not being able to compete. So if you look at everyone saying, oh, Liverpool, they're going to run away with the league. They're going to win the Champions League next year. They're signing all these players. They're spending massive. That's all good. That's all good until Van Dijk gets an injury, right? Until Konate gets an injury. Konate 70% fit throughout the season. Yeah, he's never fit all the way for a season. But that doesn't matter if we have got a young centre back that can fill in. Like when we had Quansah, right? If Gomez didn't have all these injuries, that wouldn't be too big of a deal if Konate was injured, because you have Van Dijk still captain. You know that anyone could play next to him and he ups their game. But if Van Dijk gets injured, I said it before, if we're looking at Endo to play at centre back, don't get me wrong, Endo's a quality player. Yeah, I rate Endo. I think he can do a job at centre back. But if I'm going into a quarter final of a Champions League, yeah, do I want Endo and Konate as my centre back? Not sure I do, guys. Let me know what you think in the live stream, in the comments, or if you're watching it back, obviously, in the comment section. I'm not sure that I would want Endo going in to a quarterfinal or a final even. It does worry me, guys. I think we do need to look at the centre-back situation. To be honest with you, though, guys, as I've already stated, I think Liverpool are going to look at younger, promising centre-backs because they probably want to keep Konate and Van Dijk, don't they? Let's face it. Over the next couple of years, if they can sign Konate out, that's the dream. That's the dream. And I love Konate. I'm seeing loads of clips of him, loads of videos. He's very, very entertaining. He's obviously a massive personality in the changing room. And he's a massive personality on the football pitch. Like, I think if Trent didn't have Konate at right centre-back, we would be talking more about how bad defensively Trent was. But he kind of got away with it, right? And by the way, I want to speak about Frimpong in a minute as well. When we're talking about defence, remind me if I don't to speak about Frimpong. No one's seen that Shia LaBeouf song. Funniest thing I've heard and seen. No, Michael Dunn, you'll have to let me know what it is, mate. I don't think I'm aware of it. I love Elliot and he needs minutes. I do agree, bro. But is Elliot going to get minutes now with the signings that Liverpool make him? I don't know. I would like to see him, but Elliot kind of, for me, if you were going to rest Salah a bit, then Elliot could play on the right wing. But now you've got Frimpong. The better option for me on that right wing spot is if we haven't got Salah, or if we need to rest him, you play Frimpong higher up on the right wing and you play Bradley as your right back. Bradley's actually suffering a little bit of injuries, guys. Have you noticed that? Like, on and off, he gets these injuries, doesn't he? So I don't know that we can, because there's some people going, oh, Bradley should be our start right back. Like, I'm all for it, like quality-wise. I think Bradley, amazing player, and I want to see him grow, and I hope that he stays at Liverpool and has a really good career. But his injuries are starting to worry me a little bit, like that he can't be that out-and-out right back going forward. So I'm really happy that Frimpong has come in, and actually he can defend. We will go more on that in a minute. Barcola could be a good option, but his end product ain't there yet. Oh, that's interesting, Anthony. So you don't think the end product is there on him yet? So I was reading out some of his stats on a video yesterday. He actually has a goal and assist. I think it was like one per every game that he played or something. He's very reliable in the sense that he broke like PSG's record for how many games he played in a season. And he actually does score and assist, like statistics wise, but I haven't watched him enough personally, Anthony, to be able to say, he's not as good as what we need at Liverpool. Is he going to come in and be better than Gakpo at left wing? Is he going to come in and be better than Salah? No one's going to come in and be better than Salah, right? Even though Salah's obviously hitting the end of his career. Last season was arguably his best season. Like, Salah's putting up numbers in pre-season. Salah's amazing. So Barcola's not going to knock Salah out, yeah? Is he better than Gakpo so he would knock Gakpo out? And if Barcola comes in, is that going to then not allow Rio some minutes this season, which I really want to see Rio play? Rio is really exciting me, guys. Really exciting me, to be honest. I don't know. This is where we need that striker. We need Isak. And if we don't sign Isak, I think we need another striker and not necessarily a winger for me. Obviously, let me know your views on that, guys. Michael says, no, Gravenberch or Endo can't step in and make everything okay. Yeah, I don't think they can. Obviously, let's talk about Gravenberch as well, playing at centre-back as well as Endo. Slott's looking at it, those players can play there. So if Slott's looking at it as a bigger picture and he goes, all right, we're going into the season with the options that we've got currently, he's looking at it, Gravenberch can play centre-back, Endo can play centre-back. Also, what you have got is you like those midfielders. From what I've noticed in pre-season, I see Subasai's doing it really well. When Jones played, one of our midfielders is dropping very deep, and it's normally, I don't want to, if other football coaches for other teams are listening, not that they will be, but I don't really want to let them know too much of tactics. But for me, I really do, dissect Liverpool's tactics and the way we play and everything. I've just always been like, I'll out coach my boys' football team and stuff. one of our midfielders is hugging the left side of the pitch near the left centre back, and it's a way that we're overloading so that we can beat the press when teams are pressing up on us. Yeah, like Subasai very much in that last game was coming very close to where Van Dijk would be, and basically was receiving the ball, and they was passing it between him and the centre back, and he was kind of telling Kirkes to push out and further up the pitch on the left, and then he was kind of ignoring Kirkes, and I was thinking for ages, I was like, why are you ignoring him, man? Just turn and just ping the ball to Kirkes. And I was thinking he just wasn't seeing it, but actually it wasn't true. He knew that he was there, but they was doing this thing where they was kind of ignoring him. So then the other team started to ignore Kirkes' movement, if that makes sense. This is what I think. And then all of a sudden, Subasai would receive the ball, and instead of going back and playing it across the other side of the pitch, he was then obviously playing it to Kirkes, and the other team, Kirkes was completely open, and that was allowing Kirkes a lot more room up the left, because it was almost like it kind of put the players on the other team on the right side of the pitch to sleep, because it was like, he's never passing here, he's never coming, and all of a sudden it does, and it opens up a massive play for Liverpool, and I love it. I'm all for it. I think it's brilliant. Let me know if you guys have noticed anything tactics-wise in the pre-season that you can see Liverpool doing different this year. That's one thing for me. Anyway, so obviously if you're looking at Gravenberch or Subasai playing deeper, or Endo, they're dropping back into that centre-back role anyway. So I don't know, though. We still need a centre-back, guys. We still need a centre-back. There was a link to Brentford defender. I don't know if there's any movement there, says Anthony. Yeah. I haven't seen much in the way of movement for that one yet, so I can't really speak too much on that. So I can't let you know because I haven't seen any updates personally for myself. Paul says our squad, as it stands, is arguably weaker than last season. That's an interesting take, Paul. I'd like to know where exactly you think our squad is actually weaker. Obviously, last season, I felt we did have a strong squad, definitely. Obviously, with Diaz being in the team, Jota was in the team, and all the players that were kind of moving on now. We had options, and I feel like Slot wanted to give himself more options this year, but it's kind of, because I heard that Slot likes 2 players for every position, which is obviously greedy, right? But it's brilliant. But I think Slot wanted to give himself more options in the sense of he can play different formations. So what I noticed last year was Slot is very clever when it comes to changing tactics. Mo Salah spoke about it in one of his interviews when they said, what does Slot do that like excites you or is good in your opinion? And Salah said it's the way he tweaks tactics. Like, he doesn't wait, and he's not one of these managers that goes, oh yeah, no, just stick with what I've told you and just hope that it works. Slot will tweak something. He'll move players position. He'll slightly move one further up the pitch, or he'll move them further out. He'll change players positions that are playing on the pitch to confuse. It sounds like he's very tactically switched on, and I think what him and Liverpool wanted to do this window was give himself different options so that in games we can change it. A lot of teams sit defensively against Liverpool, yeah, arguably, especially if they're weaker than Liverpool. They sit quite deep and they try to counter us, which I actually don't think Liverpool have strengthened in the sense of being able to stop people from countering us, because actually if you look at our 2 wing backs now, our right and left back, Kirkes and Frimpong, they're very attackive. So Liverpool are, open on the counter-attack, really. But I think what Slot's looking at is that we do control most games. So if you're going to control most games, you need players that are more attackive, right? And different options to be able to move the ball around the box. Wirtz is a massive signing for Liverpool, because when teams sit deep and they sit on top of each other, we didn't have anyone like that Philip Coutinho that can really open up a team, bang a goal from outside the box. We have got players that can score outside the box, but we just wasn't using that. But now with Wirtz, you see he's very clever at these little 1-2 passes and his movement and stuff. You see already him and Salah linking up on the right, and he glides across the pitch. I love it. I'm all for it, and I think it's really good. John says, hi John, mate. How are you? I hope you're good today. By the way, to all the legends that are returning, massive fist pump to you lot. I haven't been able to do that in a long time, and I really wanted to do it. Thank you so much to everyone for joining me on this live today. What else have we got here? Apparently, Spanish media has been pretty quiet about Canate lately. Yeah, Michael, I actually think Canate wants to stay at Liverpool, and I think Real Madrid they use the media a lot, don't they, in Spain, to try and push things and to try and make a situation out of something that's probably not. And I think with Canate just wants a better contract. He's seen other Liverpool players get higher wages, good contracts, and he rates himself. He backs himself. He knows how good he is. Let's face it, Canate. Who are you going to get in centre-back that's arguably better than Canate on his day? Not many people. There was definitely games last season I looked at it. Konate was our best defender on the pitch, better than Van Dijk in some games. I'm not saying he's better than Van Dijk overall, but definitely has his moments. So if we could keep Konate, and if he wants to stay and he knows what he's worth, give him the contract. Liverpool aren't going to bend over and go, oh yeah, here's an extra £200,000 a week just because we want to keep you. But what we need to do is be smart about it. We need to actually sit at the table and say, right, what do you want to stay? It's obvious he wants to stay. So we need to find out what he wants. Then we need to, make that situation happen. I really hope we can keep Konate. I rate him highly. I don't see anyone else out there that will come in that will be better than him for me. Michael says, hi, John. Good to see Michael saying hi to people as well. Michael's always been a legend for that. I'm honestly a bit confused why we sell Quansah. You know what? I was as well, Michael, but Quansah wasn't getting game time under Slot. And when he did, Slot was playing him as a right back. He wasn't, he tried and didn't he at centre back and he whipped him off. Do you remember? I can't remember what game it was, but he started the game and Quansah wasn't doing very well at centre back and Slot took him off. And ever since then, it was like he just didn't like him. It's the same with Chiesa. I don't know, Arne Slot just doesn't seem to like certain players and he likes the players that he uses and he uses them and doesn't really stray from that too much, does he? Whereas Klopp was very good. Klopp would give the youngsters game time. He would, try and mix it up a little bit. Slot doesn't really. And when Quansah left, I was like, maybe that was Quansah being unhappy with the lack of game time or not being able to play in his preferred position. I thought Quansah could do a job at right back, but he's not your Frimpong. He's not Bradley, is he? He's not of that level at right back. He's a quality centre back on his day and he's still young. When he was playing with Van Dijk for quite a while, there was a bit of a run where he was playing next to Van Dijk quite a bit and he was solid, man. I think he's going to do well. He's going to have a good career. But I think that was possibly him going to Slot behind closed doors and saying, what's going on next year? What's the plans? And Slot's probably said, look, I don't know. Doesn't really have much of a plan for Quansah because it didn't seem that way when you're watching the games. And if you're that player, then if you're Quansah, you leave. You leave Liverpool, which is sad because when you already are at a young age playing for such a club like Liverpool Football Club, where do you go? Do you know what I mean? Like, how do you go lower to another club and be happy? I don't know. But if it means that he gets more game time and he can really kickstart his career, then fair play to him. I wish him all the best anyway. Do you know what I mean? Subasai has upped his game a bit, ain't he, since those reporters getting those digs in about him losing his place to Wirtz. Yeah, do you reckon that's what it was, Michael? Do you reckon it was because obviously there was a lot of talk about Wirtz coming in. Subasai was the player that people was kind of leaving out their squads. So when I was looking at all these TikToks that people was making, YouTube videos and stuff, and people putting Liverpool's starting 11 for next season, Subasai wasn't making those. You had Gravenberch with McAllister, and then you had Wirtz further forwards. And a lot of people are still saying that they would like that to go against Palace. For me, I don't think you could drop Subasai at the moment. I literally made a video, I put it on TikTok today, a couple of hours ago. If you haven't seen it yet, go watch it, guys. It's just me saying how much I think Subasai this season is going to kick on so much. I think we're going to be talking about Subasai as one of the best players in the world, one of the best midfielders. Watching the reaction, whether it's because he didn't want anyone to get his place in the starting 11, or whether it's just having better players around him has upped his game, or whether because now you've got Wirtz playing more forward, Subasai is being used more deep, defensive. You know, that 8, that 6 number. And it suits him. It suits him. Having an engine that can cover that back line, get back, cover your left and right back. I think Slot's not stupid. He's looked at and he's identified. If we've got Frimpong that's really pushing up the right, Kirkes seems like the more defensive side at the moment. Pre-season, Kirkes was kind of being held back while Frimpong was bombing forwards. But whoever, if the left goes forwards or the right goes forwards, having someone with Subasai's pace, you know, his ability to read the game, to cover those players. And also, because of his engine and because of how fast he is, he also gets forward on the attacks as well. He's unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. I actually don't know who my starting midfield is, or my favourite midfield going into the season. I think against Palace, I think I would definitely go Gravenberch, Subasai and Wirtz to start the match, because McAllister obviously hasn't been back as much. So obviously you could see that in the game the other day. McAllister wasn't in the best 11, you could say. But his quality, and obviously it looks like he's getting what's it called? Paul Joyce said about it today. Obviously, McAllister's getting the under captain. I can't think what it's called now. I've got a total mind blank just because I've got so much flying through my head. But he's obviously getting that, isn't he? So McAllister's not going to be dropped a lot, you know. But Supersly is unbelievable, and I think this season we're really going to see Supersly come into his own. That's what I wanted to get to by the end of that. Michael says, "I hate system coaches." Cough, Amarin, cough. Yeah, me too, bro. I hate the ones that are very stuck in their ways. If it doesn't work, then they just keep doing it, and it's like you can't do that, you know. Klopp was very successful at Liverpool, but let's be honest, I think Klopp was very stuck in his ways with the Gengham press and how direct Liverpool played. And when teams sat deep against us and that we was playing in and around their box, yeah, in and around the area, sometimes I just felt Liverpool was trying to be too direct and it wasn't happening. Whereas if we had played the way Slot does with Liverpool, a bit slower, a bit calmer, a bit more possession based, I think Klopp could have won a bit more at Liverpool, but don't get me wrong, I absolutely love Klopp. Everyone knows I love Klopp. But tactically, Slot is on another level to a lot of coaches, to a lot of managers. And it's something I think that Liverpool players have reacted to when Slot first come in. They was obviously super happy with the way Slot is tactically and saying that they like the tactics, they like the way the manager thinks. There's a lot of positives when Slot come in that was different from Klopp. Everyone was like, now Klopp's gone, Liverpool going to drop, all other fans. And me as a Liverpool fan, I was worried, guys. Was you worried? Let me know if you was worried. I was definitely worried when Slot first come in. I was thinking, I was really upset Klopp's gone. I was thinking, is that the end now? Are we going to have another 5 to 10 years where Liverpool aren't challenging? I grew up watching Liverpool through tough years when we had bad teams. Not always the worst teams, but like when we had like quality players. Like I grew up obviously watching Steven Gerrard, an amazing player, but often in a bang average Liverpool side. If you put Gerrard in the team that we've got today, he wins everything. Other fans laughing at Steven Gerrard because he never won the Premier League. It's absolutely ridiculous. Look at the players that he played with. When he played with Torres, them two, amazing. When he played with Suarez, amazing. But Steven Gerrard never had the luxury of playing in a team, in a squad like what Liverpool have got now. So, you know, these things make a difference, guys. I grew up watching that. And now seeing Slot build what he's doing and see what Liverpool, the way they're building, and we're moving as a big club now. I rate it. I love it. Like I'm all for it. We've won things. We've won the Premier League. We've won the Champions League again. Like we're up there already. But now I feel like it's time, and I think Liverpool agree to take that next step. I'm hearing that FSG are all for making Liverpool the best team in the world. They want to win everything, and finally, like this is what us Liverpool fans have wanted for years. We've seen this for years. We've wanted this for years. I think what it comes down to is FSG are very clever. They run Liverpool very well. You see that. The way we've been able to spend this window is because of the way Liverpool have been run over the last so many years. So I take my hats off to them like that. But I think over the years, they kind of was just happy to just chip along, qualify for Champions League if we can, because that gives them a bit more revenue, blah, blah, blah. They could build the stands, you know, increase the stadium, build a training ground, stuff like that, and still earn a bit of a profit. Whereas now they're looking at it, Liverpool won the Premier League. We got kicked out of the Champions League by the best team in the Champions League, right? PSG, arguably one of the best teams I think I've played in years. So for me, vice captain, thank you, Michael. That was exactly what I was thinking about earlier for McAllister, by the way. Apparently McAllister is going to be vice captain. Yeah, so I think FSG have finally seen that we can go on, we can push on, and we can win everything, and we can have a bit of a dynasty here. You know, next 5 years, Liverpool could win the Premier League at least 3 times, at least, if FSG and Liverpool move the way we're moving. But I'm happy with the transfer window. I'm ecstatic. I'm blown away. Vert's amazing. I never thought we would sign a player of that quality. And the way we're obviously pushing for Isak and stuff. But as we all stated earlier on in the live stream, guys, I think we need a centre-back. We need to be clever as well this window. We can't afford to go back to that season where one injury on the centre-back ruins it. Because it will, guys. It will stump us. And we don't want that. Especially when we're spending money like this. There's a lot of talk Liverpool spending this sort of money now because that way we don't have to spend over the next couple of years, you know, which I agree. That's probably exactly what Liverpool are doing. And next year, players aren't going to want to move and stuff. So it makes sense that we're doing what we're doing. But we need to do it complete, the whole package. We need to make sure we got that striker. Ekitike could be that striker, but we just don't know yet. Isak is Premier League proven. You spend the money, you get what you get. Yeah. So for me, get that striker, get another centre back through the door, get a young centre back as well, and then let's see what we do for the next few years. I'm happy for that, guys. Are you guys happy if Liverpool did that now and then we didn't spend over the next couple of years? Let me know. Subsidize up. Yeah, I hate system coaches. Yeah, I suppose 35 million euros was incredible business, Michael says. Yeah, he's been electric. Amazing, bro. He's absolutely quality. Michael says, yeah, I thought we'd lose that extra 10%. Klopp seemed to get us out of, get out of us. Yeah, I did. I think you actually hit the nail on the head there, Michael. Klopp was very good man management and getting average players playing at that world-class level. And that's why, obviously, Liverpool won quite a bit under Klopp. But tactically, he had his system, didn't he? Gengen pressing, rock and roll football, press really high, be aggressive, get in the other team's faces, don't let them breathe, you know, and that it worked. I think often we took teams by shock, especially in the Champions League. Teams that didn't play against us or watch us all the time in the Premier League. When we come up against them in the Champions League, I think that was a bit blown away. Like wow, like the intensity that Liverpool played up at under Klopp. And that was his strengths: intensity, man management, Gengen pressing, and the fact his ability, he could take youth players and he could take average players and arguably make them world beaters. Would they have been world beaters in other teams and other setups? I'm not so sure, but they definitely was at a point for Liverpool. We really challenged for everything, and we could have won everything, and we did win titles. So that was a really good thing for us. But Slot's different. He's totally different. He reads games. He's tactically smart. Apparently his man management is good. He seems to have a good bond and a good relationship with players. I think something I've noticed with him is he doesn't really beat around the bush, if that makes sense. Like, if he doesn't like you, I think you know it. And I think this is what's kind of happened with like Chiesa, Quansah obviously leaving. I think Slot, if he doesn't like you, that's it. Like, you're not going to get played. He's not entertaining you. And I think he's just very blunt like that. And I think obviously for me, that can work. It can work. At least players know where they stand. If you've got a manager that's going, oh yeah, I might play you, mate. I do rate you. Like, keep going in training, keep working hard, and I might give you game time. But inside, they're not thinking that, or they're not feeling that. Then, of course, that can be harsh on players, and it could make players ruin their careers, or spend too long at a club. Whereas at least now, Quansah, if he's not in Slot's plans, he's got his move. He can kickstart his career. If Chiesa moves to another club, he could get game time again. Try and get back in the Italy team. I absolutely love Chiesa as a person. I look at him. He's so happy to move to Liverpool, but he's just not getting game time. So again, I think Slot, he doesn't rate him. Was Chiesa a Slot signing? I don't believe he was. I think it was a Liverpool panicking, thinking, right, let's add another attacker to the fee. Also looking at the price, the fee. It was a bit of a bargain because of his injuries. Yeah, his injury records. We all know that. And then now you're looking at it, he's stayed fit, but he's still not getting game time. So there's something behind the scenes there. And it isn't that he's not trying, because I think Chiesa isn't that sort of player. I think Chiesa is not a lazy player. I think he wants to play. You see that. He's like a young kid. He wants to play football. It's like, if you've got a young boy that absolutely lives and breathes football, you put a ball in a room with him, he's going to do keep-ups for hours. Like, that's Chiesa. He just wants to play football. So I don't think he'll stay at Liverpool for too long, because he's not getting that, is he? John says, how much game time do you think Andy Robertson is getting this season? Another amazing question, John. Robbo's a weird one for me, because obviously people are talking about whether Robbo or Tomiskas is going to be the player sold, because obviously you really don't need three left backs. Kirkes is obviously going to be the starting left back. And then Robbo and Tomiskas, like, who do you keep? Robbo's been playing a little bit at centre-back in pre-season. I don't know whether Slot's obviously identified Robbo and said, look, he's not got the legs to get up and down the pitch as much as what he used to. He still can. Still better than half the people in the Premier League, I believe. Just not as good as what he used to. So Slot might be thinking, well, Robbo's always been solid defensively, so maybe he could play that centre-back role a bit more for Liverpool. But I just don't want to see him play centre-back. I would like to keep Robbo. If it was down to me, mate, to answer your question, I would like to keep Robbo and have Robbo and Kirkes rotate. Robbo can still do a job at the highest level. Kirkes needs time to bed in a bit. You can see that even in pre-season. Kirkes in his first game was like, everyone was like, oh my God, Kirkes is amazing. Kirkes is amazing. And he is. He's very, very good. I'm very impressed with him. But I think he's taken a bit longer to bed in, to settle in. I see like a few of the players getting a bit stressed with him, and some arms were going on that in last game. He just does. He's got to get used to what Slot wants from him and what Liverpool want from him. I think he's being asked to play more defensive than what he likes. Kirkes is definitely a full-blown attacking wing-back, isn't he? Like, he loves to get forwards, loves to get involved in the attack as well. Same as Frimpong. But because of how attacking Frimpong is, I think it's almost forcing Slot's hand to say, okay, well, one of you's got to sit back. Frimpong is not doing that. So Kirkes has got to be that player. So Robbo, playing in some games, allows Kirkes a bit more time to bed in. You know, I would like to see Kirkes start against Palace. However, if it's not going well, having Robbo on the bench to be able to come in, knowing what Slot already wants from him, knowing the Liverpool players around him, I think you need to keep Robbo's experience. He's been the best left back in the world for many years. You keep that, and you keep him in a changing room. Robbo is such a legend as well, as a person, as a player. So I want to keep him. Let me know what you guys think. Michael, John, Hero, welcome to the live stream, bro. The Cop Council, good to see you, mate. Good to see, great to see you back. Thank you very much, dude. It's good to be back, guys. It's really good to see you lot in here, and I really do appreciate the support as well. Yeah, what was we just saying there? One of you just said, where was we, guys? It's gone really quick on me. John, how much game time? Said Robbo. Costas, yeah, those 5-1 Porto games, says Michael. Yes, 100% agree. Michael says that's not being nice, that's being weak, because you can't face offending them. Exactly, Michael. That was basically my point with that one, dude. Hero says Slot is decisive, tells it how it is. Can't wait to see how this team forms. Me too, bro. I think that decisive. I like that, Hero. I'm going to go with that. So speaking about Slot and the way he is as a manager, decisive is a very good word to give Slot, really, to describe him. Because he's decisive in the games. He makes quick decisions and it works. Sometimes it doesn't work. If it doesn't work, he then keeps making decisions until it does work. Often in the second half, Liverpool was stronger last year, right? Like you saw it first half, might be 1-0 down, 1-0. Second half, we have a 15, 20-minute spell where we come out and we blow teams away, put 2 or 3 goals in, get ahead of the other team, and then we just hold the ball and we just play them out of the game. And I love it. But that decisiveness of Slot is what is going to win us things. And it's what he's been with the players, as we were obviously talking about. Be interested to hear all your guys' thoughts on Frimpong. This is what I was saying at the beginning. Remind me to speak about him. So we were talking about Kirkes, Robbo, and the defensive situations and the way they play. Frimpong being very attacking. When he come in to Liverpool, there was a massive stigma around him that he can't defend, and that Liverpool have bought another player that's arguably worse than Trent at defending. That's rubbish. Look, I know it's only been pre-season, but for me, he's been amazing. Like, there was a point in the game the other day where I watched him, his recovery run. So I think Konate had gone out wide to meet the player that was running down their flank. And I watched Frimpong drop in to Konate's position. But the way he moved and how quick he fought and got back into that position, Trent would have never have done that. Ever. And often we got caught out down that right flank because of it. And I'm not here to slag off Trent, because as much as I'm upset that Trent left and went to Madrid and we didn't get anything for him, I don't like how that whole situation went. It's an argument for another day. But Trent, obviously a boyhood Liverpool player. I watched him grow up. We watched him become a man. What he did for Liverpool, the game against Barcelona, the corner, the magic, everything that he done for Liverpool, I absolutely rate. But let's be honest, from what I've seen so far, Frimpong is a much better defender than what Trent is. And he is such a different player when it comes to going forwards. He has added such a different element to Liverpool on that right wing. The way we attack down that right wing. Salah being able to link up with Wirtz on the middle, and then also having that overlapping run of Frimpong. Teams cannot defend Mo Salah now. Yeah? Last year, Salah got all those goals, assists that he did. Absolutely blew the league away. And that was because he had had conversations with Slot and said, I know how you can get the best out of me. Leave me up. Don't let me defend, blah, blah, blah. But teams were getting clever towards the end. Yeah? They was putting 2 or 3 players in. They learned how to kind of mark Salah out of the game. Right? Now, can these teams mark Salah out of a game? No, because if you put 2 or 3 players on Mo Salah, you've got Wirtz making runs off him, Subasai making late runs into the box as well, Ekitike, whoever the striker is, if Isak comes in, yeah? But you've also got Frimpong bombing down the right. Bradley, when Bradley plays. Bradley doesn't really bomb down Salah's outside. He normally makes inside runs, which I'd like to see Bradley more go down the outside because I think it definitely opens teams up more. But I like the fact that Liverpool can hit the byline and pull that ball back. And something that Frimpong does amazing is get that ball to the players in the box. I've never seen anyone so quick get down a wing and be able to hit the ball across. And I'm thinking, normally you'd be like, it's going to go to one of their defenders or whatever. And it just doesn't. It just finds the players. Yeah, it just always finds his target, which is amazing. I know it's only pre-season, but Frimpong is going to be huge for Liverpool. I really do think it. And his personality, people are calling him Liverpool's very own Kevin Hart. That is funny as anything. Absolutely makes me laugh when I see things like that. His videos of him. He's such a nice lad. He's bedded in so quick. Obviously, he's already got friends there because of the Netherlands link and stuff, his nationality. But, he looks like as much stress you would be under when you move club, having to find somewhere to live, having to make new friends. Training facilities are different. The pressure of playing for Liverpool Football Club. It just doesn't seem to affect him. Like he's took it all in his stride. And I love it. I think he's brilliant. Whereas Kirk is a bit more quiet. And I think I'm seeing that. As I said before, I think he's a bit more withdrawn. But going back to what I was saying about Salah, Salah is going to get a lot more goals and assists. Actually, I don't think Salah's going to score more goals this year. I think he's going to get a lot more assists. I can see him smashing the assist record because the players that's playing off him now. And for some reason, I don't know what it is, but he's getting better and better at passing and finding players. Wow. The outside of his foot, the inside, balls in the channel, everything. He's just doing it all. He's amazing. He's going to be so good for us this year again. There is talk that, by the way, Salah might leave next year. I don't know whether any of you have seen that. There's a few rumours going around. For me, if he was to go, it's purely to get Liverpool money. And I think that is the type of player that Salah is as well. He's not going to run his contract down and let Liverpool get absolutely nothing. We're not going to get loads of money for him. But you just seen with Nunes going to Saudi, like someone will stump up the money. If he does choose to go to Saudi next year, everything Salah's done for us. I take my hat off to him. I bow down to him. He's been an absolute legend, not only for Liverpool, but in the whole world of football and the Premier League history. Salah is up there with the best players ever. So if he chooses to go next year, so that his final years of football, he gets a really high wage. Nunes is on 400k a week, which Salah is on at Liverpool. Imagine what Salah would be on if he went to Al Hilal or one of those clubs. It would be crazy, guys. Hero says about Slot being decisive. Michael said Ekitike looks mint off the left. He does, Michael. I'm very interested. I was looking at myself. Isak up top, Ekitike maybe playing the left. I don't know. But I like Gakpo as well. I think this is a big season for Gakpo. Frimpong was straight into giving the community as well. Yeah, he was, bro. Literally. You're so right, Michael. Ekitike on the left, I liked. He was very direct. Held his run really well for that pass. I think Subasai played the ball through, wouldn't it? Held his run really well. Nunes would have been offside, like without staggering him off too much. How many offsides did that player get? Was it because he was too quick maybe? But Ekitike's fast. Held his run well. He was very direct. Nice little cheeky step over. Hit the byline, plays the ball back, picks off a perfect pass to Salah. And Salah just tapped it in because that's what Mo Salah does, right? But Ekitike already looking good. And he's not even played. Has he even played a full 90 minutes? He's had a couple of halves, hasn't he? But he's going to be a big player. But I think Gakpo this year is going to be the unsung hero. That's what I want. If I'm sitting here and I'm looking at the team and the starting 11, a lot of people wouldn't put Gakpo in the starting 11 with Rio coming up and how electric he's been. And then obviously if Ekitike, if Isak was to be signed, then people would start Ekitike on the left. But you can't leave Gakpo out, right? Because that lad can score goals, and he is in pre-season. He seems to find the net. And I think if you've got Kirkes making runs on the outside, excuse me, and you've got Verts linking up with him 1-2s, and you've got teams worried about those other players, Gakpo will be able to cut in on his favoured right and shoot, and that is something he does very well. He got the most goals and assists, I think, for Liverpool last season. I think that was his best numbers, he said. I saw an interview of his the other day, and he said that was his best number so far, but he wants to get more next year. And I think he will. I think he definitely will get those numbers next year. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think Gakpo is going to... Diaz is gone. And it was Diaz and Gakpo fighting for that left wing spot. If we don't sign a winger, don't sign a left winger, Slot would have surely have said to Gakpo, this is your chance now. Show me that left wing spot is yours. No one's taking Salah's spot on the right. I guarantee no one will take Vert's spot from the team. No one's taking Van Dijk's spot from the team. Gakpo's got to look at those sort of players and go, I want that. That's what I want. I don't want anyone to take that position from me. He should be showing in training every day that we don't need to go out and sign another 100 million left winger. That really we should be able to spend the money on a striker, because that should be Gakpo's spot. He's got experience. He does it for the Netherlands. I definitely think he's a left winger. He's not a striker. When Klopp played him as a striker, I think it was hurting him. I think that left wing spot suits him. And I like now with those players around him, it will open up and free up Gakpo a lot more. But young Rio is very exciting. And he's been promised minutes this year. Liverpool are talking about obviously giving Rio an extra contract for anyone that doesn't know. And it's not because he wants to leave. It's just Liverpool showing a sign of commitment, saying, we understand that you're a superstar, that you're a diamond, and we want to keep you. And we want to show you our respect. We want to show you, stick with us. There's a pathway. You're going to get minutes into the first team. You're going to be training with the first team boys. We want you to have a future at Liverpool Football Club. He's got a massive future, Rio. And this is what Gakpo is going to be looking over his shoulder and thinking, that kid is performing. He's performing in training. Apparently, there's a rumour that they won't even put out training clips of Rio absolutely destroying first team Liverpool players. How true that is, I don't know, by the way. It's just a rumour, but I can see it. I can see it. Van Dijk doesn't get dribbled around, but if anyone's going to take it around Van Dijk in training, it's going to be Rio, because he's just oozing confidence and he's fast and he's low centre of gravity in a way you can't predict what he's doing. In the game the other day against the Athletic Club, he literally turned inside and two defenders thought he was going to have a shot then, and then he went back out to the left and then smashed it. Keeper, brilliant save. But that's something Liverpool players don't do. If we cut inside, Salah often, if he cuts into the left, he'll shoot or he'll lay it off. If Gakpo cuts in on the right, often he will lay it off or he will have a shot. We don't really have those wingers that cut in and then we cut back out and we try and hit the byline. Under Klopp, when Klopp first come in, there was a spell where we did it really well. We was hitting the byline all the time. Mane, Bobby, Salah. We were just hitting the byline, overlapping runs. Robbo and Trent, very attacking, bombing down the wings, overlapping, hitting the byline. And we were opening teams up left, right, centre. And we were scoring bags of goals. It was like 5, 6, 2. Like other teams were scoring against us and stuff because we were very open and it's the type of football we played. But we were scoring so many goals. And now with the players that we've got, we could play like that on the slot, hit the byline. I want to see players hit the byline for Liverpool. That's what I want to see. That Salah goal, no backlift, just back of the net. Keeper had no chance. 100%, Michael. I guess you're on about the one. Ekitike laid it off to him. Boom. Salah's just wicked, mate. He's always wicked. He can finish the ball. If you get him in the right areas and he's unmarked, it's game over. And that's what I think Slot is going to try and do this year with the team. And that's what we've been building. I think Slot does need to get used to mixing things up and rotating, because we did get leggy by the end of the season. That's a big thing. Obviously, this is going back to what I was talking about earlier and saying about he's got his favourite players and he doesn't really stray from it. And obviously, this window is a very big window for Liverpool, signing these other players. Strengthening the squad should be the biggest agenda, right? We do need to have players that can cover. And this is why I want to keep Robbo at left back. Him and Kirkes rotating. Bradley and Frimpong rotating that right back spot. Frimpong can also rotate with Mo Salah on the right. Elliott looks like he might be going to Spurs. But if he didn't, you've got Elliott that can play on the right as well as Mo Salah. In the middle, you've got Dominic Szoboszlai that can play the attacking role, as well as Wirtz, obviously, which will be the starting cam for me. And you've got a number of players. Elliott can play that if he stayed. McAllister can play that as well. He played that very much for Brighton a few times. On the left, you've got Rio and Gakpo. The striker at the moment, we're very, very light. Ekitike. And then obviously we've got youngsters, haven't we? But this is where you need Isak. If you've got Isak and Ekitike, I think that's your team there. Van Dijk and Konate, we need one centre-back that can rotate with both of them. I would like to see Gahey, as we said at the beginning. I would definitely like to see that. But I don't think Gahey's going to come knowing that he wants to get in the England team. And if he doesn't get minutes at Liverpool because Konate and Van Dijk are ahead of him, I don't know. But if you had Gahey, Konate and Van Dijk, you could be rotating them. You don't always have to play your strongest team against some of the bottom of the Premier League teams, do you? You don't have to. So you can rotate a lot. And this is what rotation is about. That's what's key. And that's what I want to keep. Do you mind if I post a link to Shia LaBeouf song? Not at all, Michael. Crack on. I don't know how the links work on this anymore. You guys are going to have to let me know how things like that work. It's been a long time, guys. But obviously, we're speaking a lot about Liverpool. But just on a personal level, between us, it's been a long time. It's good to be back. Riley's a lot older now. When I first was streaming and I had to stop, I had a lot of health issues, guys. I've got a bit of a dodgy ticker, and I had a big stent where I was in and out of hospital and stuff, and it was not a good time. So I had to put my health first, put my family first. So that's why I stopped, and it was so abrupt, and I wasn't able to tell people. I put out a couple of videos to tell people, but because I was talking about mental health and my health at the time, YouTube wouldn't allow it, so it got took down. So people didn't really know what happened to me, didn't know where I'd gone. But obviously I'm back now. I'm feeling good. I'm on the right medication. I've built myself up over these years. And also when I did stop as well, I was thinking Liverpool Football Club, it had become more, it was a job for me. So when Liverpool was playing, I was doing watch-alongs. I was having to work when the game was on. And my son, obviously, was very little. I wasn't able to teach. I wanted him to be a Liverpool supporter. I wanted to teach him about football and stuff. I've been able to do that now. He supports Liverpool Football Club. He's a very brilliant football player. He's very talented, loves football. And, I think everything happens for a reason, right, guys? I have to think about everything. Everything happens for a reason. So for me, it definitely was the right choice in what I did. And now I'm able to come back. I've really been buzzing about this for a while. And it's took me a while because I've had to make all my graphics and stuff. I hope you guys like the graphics on the screen. By the way, the list of legends, all you original guys will know that the legends, I call a lot of you legends. So if you want to get your name on that list, please put a comment in the live stream now or comment in the video afterwards, and I'll be putting up your name on the list, legends. They're just random names that I've put in there. We can replace that at any time. So yeah, comment obviously if you want to go on that. Guys, it's been amazing to do the first live stream. I'm so chuffed that a few of you have come to join me. I didn't think anyone would remember me, to be honest, or actually join the live streams. Thank you so much for all the support on the recent videos I've been putting out and everything. I'm very excited for the new season with Liverpool. I'm very excited to hear what you guys think of Liverpool in general and how we play next year. I think it's going to be a big year, guys. I think it's going to be a big year. This is a big transfer window, but I think it's going to be a big year. I'm in treatment at the moment too, mate. I know I'm new here, but I'm really glad to be here. Michael, 100%, bro. That's the thing. Like, this is what you got to remember. Mental health and health comes before everything, right? And I've always been here for a lot of you guys if there was ever problems and stuff. And for me as well, that's what we do, right? Liverpool, you'll never walk alone. That's what it's all about. So if ever any of you guys need to talk or whatever, I'm always here. You can always just give me a comment. And I do read all my comments, guys. I read all my comments. I reply to nearly every comment. It takes me ages. Obviously, the more comments I get, it can be harder because I've got videos on other social media platforms as well. Like TikTok's massive at the moment. TikTok's flying. I'm getting loads of views on that. So obviously, it's hard to reply to everything, but I try my best. And you guys, my hardcore fans that have been with me for many years, especially, you've got a massive place in my heart. All right. Well, thank you so much, guys. I am going to call that it for the first live stream, but I will be doing more live streams in the future. Obviously, keep an eye out. I do daily update videos now. Massive daily update videos where every day I just do, it's like a short form. So I try to give you all the information on Liverpool Football Club and the latest transfer news, updates and everything as quick as possible. And then I want to do live streams moving forwards like this, where we get to talk more in depth about what's going on with Liverpool and the latest updates. I'll get your guys' views more on a live stream because you can comment live. And then obviously we can talk and we can to and fro on that, which is really good. But if you haven't already, guys, please hit the like button on this live stream for me so that it helps the algorithm and pushes it out for me. That would be muchly and greatly appreciated. Thank you so much. So that's it then, guys. All right, I'll see you in the next one then. I've been on the bench LFC and you've all been legends. I will see you in the next